Welcome to the world of stand-up. What's up?
Hi, babe.
I'm bummed that we didn't have recording that last part about the Jay-Z song.
Oh.
Because you had a really cool sort of improv. You're like,
I didn't
you
know it
ready,
wasn't
B?
recording. I thought it was recording.
I was, but then these,
Always record.
they were yapping.
Always
what happened.
record.
We got a live studio audience. Again, it's like we're becoming so popular that people just want to
Quiet
hang
on
out.
set.
All 50 of you. So what's up? You're back on the show with me.
Back.
Thanks, babe, for lending me your time and your talents.
I think I'm an easy guest to have. Easy and accessible.
Yes, you are easy and accessible.
Yep.
So I wanted to have you come on the show because we just got back from Los Angeles. I had a comedy gig there.
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Booked an amazing gig out there at a cannabis show. It was epic.
It was incredible. Mm-hmm. You were obviously you're such a good travel buddy, obviously.
Yeah, well, I try to be easy, make it easy.
Yeah,
I like to travel, so anything that that fills me up, so I love it.
Yeah, well, and I just as somebody that cares deeply for you, obviously,
yeah,
you're really supportive of the comedy stuff, and
I love it. I love a good laugh, and it's good to watch you thrive and do your thing. And this one was awesome because you're able to be with your buddy Jeff Dye, and
yeah.
You guys kind of played around and shoot the shit a little bit. It was so great.
I fucking love Jeff Dye.
Yeah, he's funny.
He's one of the nicest, funniest humans.
He's a really nice guy, but I gotta say, he came dressed in his mom's cashmere sweater, and he had a Karen haircut. It was so Karen. It was kind of feathered.
Oh, you're so harsh.
No, he's a really handsome guy, but he needs a stylist.
Well, he's in LA. He could probably find one.
He needs one.
He's been on he's been on tons of TV shows and movies and stuff, so I'm sure that they fixed this. He's been on Gutfield on Fox, which is hilarious because he was telling us that none of his liberal friends know that he's been on the Greg Gutfield show.
Right, now they all know because they watch this.
Well, no, he puts clips
audience.
out, but he's like, nobody knows except because they stay in their own little echo chambers. He's like, all my buddies that watch CNN, they have no idea that I've ever done that. He's like, and it's the funnest show ever. He's like, Gutfield used to be a comic, and they just rip on people all the time. It was great.
Yeah, it was so great. He was funny. He had a lot of funny jokes. So we were at the event was a cannabis.
Comedy.
Right. And Jeff Dye doesn't even use cannabis. He's like, this is going to be awesome. They give you several $100s worth of swag bag.
Dude, that was all of the swag. It was just gummies and edibles and pre-rolls and
a bottle of wine to wash it all down.
Actually, that's a fun high. A little red wine with this little stone. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was cool. So there's a good buddy of mine. His name is Greg McCluskey. He's actually going to be on the show one of these days. He's a client as well. He's starting up this podcast that's called Sincerely Cannabis. Mm-hmm. He got into the cannabis game. He owns Bear Flag Company, I think is what they're called.
Yeah.
And then he owns Revenant and a bunch of other pieces where he's a part owner in some manufacturing and some other brands with cannabis. But it was cool because he called me first. He booked me as a comic before he booked anybody else on the show. Mm-hmm. And I honestly think the only reason Jeff came, because it's right, it was because Ron Funches was the other comedian, and that guy's a stoner day one.
Big time, yeah.
So he walks in, he's like, "Hey, everybody, how's it going? Where's the weed?"
He's pretty famous. I can't remember what show he's on. Isn't he on a
He's on a bunch of shows. We saw him on, he was actually on, where I remember him from was, I think it was Undateable, that show that had Whitney Cummings and Chris D'Elia on it, and Ron was on there with Chris and Whitney.
Oh, maybe that's where it was from. I don't know. He just looks so familiar,
but I couldn't he's on that one called Loot with Maya Rudolph, the new one on HBO or on Apple TV.
Really?
Where she's like the ex-wife of the really rich billionaire guy.
Yeah, I know.
He's like one of the buddies that works at their foundation there.
Anyway, he was funny. He was, did his weed bit and made fun of stoners. Jeff Dye was funny because he was it was a tough crowd in that there was so many people and so much background noise going on that it was really hard.
Smoke.
Oh my God. Yeah, they were smoking out this building, which was a trip, but it was really hard to hear you guys. And he was just cracking jokes at,
Well, Greg nailed it. He's like, because I got up and I just was doing my set, And it was challenging because there was a ton of background noise. There wasn't speakers set up in the back. So there was none of that kind of helped me as a comedian to hear. And the seating as well was a little bit odd. So it was these tables, and it wasn't very dense. There wasn't a lot of people close up front. But I'm standing on stage, and I'm just trying to do my set into this haze, this wall of fog. It's just smoking indoors, the whole thing. It was crazy.
Doing your best to not get your contact high so you can focus.
Well, dude, that's one of I didn't smoke. I didn't take anything until after I was done because I know my body. I know me. Where if I would have done that,
you have two stages when you're high. You're either in the couch, or you're like philosophically like in your head about.
I like that version of me. Yeah, that's a fun version of me.
Yeah, you're in like your alternate reality of like things. And
I think I get pretty smart.
And then you sober up and we forget it all. Nobody took notes.
Right, dude. That's something that you and I need to remember because
always record.
I have a watch that can like record from my watch. I should just
and when then listen to it back and hear how stupid we sound.
We don't sound stupid. I sound brilliant. What are you talking about?
Yeah, we sound brilliant to us. That's all that matters.
That's a funny story I want to tell. I don't think I've ever told this on the podcast. So it's true. I do have two gears when it comes to when I get high. I'm either just a floating like zombie that's just there.
It's either on the couch or in the pantry.
Hey man, this feels awesome. Or, like you said, I turn into this like philosopher. Mm-hmm. And the first time I experienced that I tapped into that philosopher side with weed, it was when we were at the Aria. When was it? It was in January of some time. No, we weren't at the Aria. We were at the Park MGM. We stayed at that shithole for some reason.
I thought we were in our backyard.
No, that's happened since. But dude, it was New Year's Eve. That was when we were I'm like remembering this in real time. That was when we were in Vegas for New Year's Eve during COVID. Mm-hmm. And they had shut down the street stuff. If you remember that, they were going to have a thing on the strip, and they're like, "No, we can't because COVID."
Yeah, they had that thing where if you weren't staying on property, you couldn't be downtown.
Yeah,
that was crazy,
dude. When I look back at all that stupid nonsense, I'm like, these people were so dumb. Anyway,
you digress.
So we got a bunch of snacks, and you and I were hanging out in our room, and I remember like standing there, looking out the window, and then I would close my eyes, and I just would start to taste the food.
You were like Ratatouille.
I was, dude. I could taste every ingredient in the food. And then I like in my mind like charted it out. I'm like, okay, so there's like a quadrant. There's like sweetness over here and sourness over here, and then there's like savory over it. Like, and it's like so every taste has like a point on this chart. Like it's some sort of algorithm of taste. And my mind is being blown because I'm so high. And then all of a sudden, like the chart turns 3D into a globe because I start realizing there's like textures and smoothness and like when you add in things like if you have like a chocolate bar that's got nuts in it, now there's a different taste because of the
crunch. Yes.
Yeah. And I'm just like, whoa, I see taste, bro. Like I'm so proud of myself that I could see taste.
Yeah.
And then that has spun into many other philosophical conversations that I'll have about. I know I always start asking the question when I get high, like, where did this come from? Mm-hmm. Who was the first one, man? Who was the first guy that got high, like on planet Earth, in the history of human beings? Who was the very first one?
Chicken or egg, babe? It's another one of those questions.
So you're saying
Who
it was
knows?
a chicken?
Chicken or the egg.
Anyway, so yeah, we go. I couldn't participate in any of that stuff before my set.
Right.
I've just been done. Mm-hmm. But it was a really fun event. Tons of people there. It was challenging as a comedian, dude, because like it actually. Ron Funches gave me a compliment. And it felt really good. I get off stage and I'm like, whew. He's like, man, you did really good. You just stayed in the pocket. That's a tough crowd, man. Like,
that's a really good impression. Maybe you should start working on that for your comedy. Is impressions. Yeah.
Here's the hard part about that. I can do impressions for the most part when I'm just like not nervous or anything. Mm-hmm. But when you get on stage and there's like a heightened level of nerve, like things tighten up in your throat and it's harder to do that.
Your best impression that you do is the laugh of Tucker Carlson. Gets me every time. If you know
Tucker Carlson, I fucking nailed it, okay?
He fucking nailed it.
Yeah. Every time we like watch some sort of Tucker Carlson video, like I just start laughing at it.
Immediately. Oh, the dumb things that make us laugh.
Oh, dude, life is good.
Anyway, so yeah, we were in LA, and LA is a total shithole.
It really is. It's sad.
It is sad. It's like all of this wealth and like expensive real estate, and it's a total shithole. Just poverty everywhere.
Yeah, we stayed at this really cool hotel downtown on Hill that was called Hotel Per LA.
Yeah, it looked like where they filmed The Great Gatsby. It was so old.
It was like built in the 20s.
Yeah.
This crazy, like narrow hallways stuff. Really, really cool vibe though. Like I liked the hotel. Mm-hmm. But yeah, you walk outside, there's homeless people everywhere. Mm-hmm. And like, there's just like random puddles of liquid on the sidewalk, and you're like, I don't know if I want to step in that.
It just smells gross.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got there
LA
that night.
does not
it
have
was
all
raining,
that.
and so it was like the toilet got flushed for a minute in the city. Where like,
yeah.
That's
what Greg said. Rainy days in California, like flushing the toilet.
Yeah. Dude, when we were on the way to the airport, he was telling us, and this made sense, because like I was looking around, and there are some gorgeous buildings. Everything has a vibey rooftop bar. Mm-hmm. Like even the hotel.
Well, because they can't be down on the streets. That's where the homeless people are. It's
like, because we saw like Lambos, and like there was really nice cars in downtown LA, and then you see like people having kung fu sessions with themselves, yelling at the top of their lungs because they're just homeless and crazy. Mm-hmm. And you're like, wait, these two worlds are colliding here? Like, how do they have all this money in downtown LA and then like this crazy homeless stuff? It was actually kind of heartbreaking for me, because some of those people, you look at them, you're like, man, how did it get to that? You know, how did it get to where you're sleeping on the street? You got no gums, no teeth left. You're just, it's heartbreaking.
It is sad.
Even though it's kind of funny to make fun of it, it's like, those are still real people, you know? Mm-hmm. But yeah, Greg was saying like these cars, like you'll have like a high-rise apartment complex that's just ridiculously luxurious and super expensive, and you'll have like your deal, and you come down and you take an Uber to the restaurant that's 3 blocks away, and you get out and you go up to the restaurant up top, and then it's like you're barely on the street.
Yeah, people don't want to be on the street, so they'd Uber 3 blocks instead of just taking the walk, just to avoid homeless people.
I get it though, dude. Like when we walk, you have some nice Louis Vuitton stuff, and you were wearing some of it. And when we were walking to breakfast on Wednesday morning, I was like looking. I was using my situational awareness stuff that I learned from Raul at Rogue Methods. Shout out to Raul. Where I'm like, if I gotta bust a motherfucker, I'm ready. You know. Mm-hmm. But like you
had got those skills now.
You had that Louis bag and your shoes and everything on, and I'm like looking around at all these homeless people, like don't just.
And I'm in my head like they're not even looking at me. They're like off in another world, like. Probably high as a kite or tired as hell.
You think any of them can see taste?
I'm hoping they can see smell, because they're at that stage.
Hopefully they can smell, because they could use that too.
Yeah, we ate at we walked down to this garden
it was
cove
like a
or
food
something.
Court, but not.
Yeah, it was like a food court, and we ate at this place called the Egg Slut.
Yeah, great.
Like, how do you get away with having that be the name of your business?
Show me. Okay.
And how do you come up with that as your idea?
Yeah, show me the like meeting of investors. It's like, I got this idea. We're gonna have breakfast sandwiches. It's gonna all be like eggs and organic and everything.
Like, what is a slutty egg?
And we're gonna call it Egg Slut.
Does it get you sick? You get salmonella from it?
Yeah. Has that egg been around? Is it not washed?
Have people thrown it up?
Dude, that's probably what it is. It's like this stuff is not cleaned before they feed it to us. Like it's just a bunch of slutty eggs. What would a slutty egg?
Exactly. What is a slutty egg?
Well, dude, and they were all bougie because we got those little tater tots that had been cooked in duck oil
with truffle sauce or some shit. Yeah.
It's like, hey, dude.
Right.
Hey, if I can smell a homeless guy while I'm in line, don't have truffle sauce. Okay. Those two things do not jive very well.
Yeah, it's not good.
It's not good.
It was really. It was just an interesting, fun time, you know, like being out there and just new experiences, new places.
Dude, one of the things that I liked the most about our trip was the Delta Sky Club. I'd never been to the Delta Sky Club. I didn't know
all of our travels, and we could have. We're the kind of people who get to the airport, we'll kind of hang out at the gate, and then within, 20 or 30 minutes. We don't like to hang out too long, but we had some time. Yeah,
I'm not a big fan of hanging out at the airport, just to be clear. But we did have some time on the flight out. Mm-hmm. And because of, we tried the Delta Sky Club, it was cool, and I'm like, whoa, this is all free?
I know, I'm like, man, why haven't we been doing this sooner? Like, not sit with the riffraff?
Dude, for real. No, for real. Like, I kind of want to go to the airport early now just to kind of chill and hang out a little.
Get a free drink.
Yeah, dude, so when we came home, our flight left at 1:20, but traffic is a bitch in LA, and we didn't know how because the airport, LAX is a nightmare. Mm-hmm. It's a weird airport. And we didn't know if we were going to have problems. That's like, we'll just go early. We got dropped off there at like 10:30, a couple hours early, and we just ended up hanging out at the Delta Club.
Yep.
Had a, Bloody Mary.
Some chicken.
Orange chicken. But
people watching is still epic.
Los Angeles people watching is next level.
We saw like 1 out of every 10 people still had masks on in LA.
Yes.
It is still very prevalent there.
Yeah, and I don't know why. I've come to the conclusion that there are two types of people in the United States that still wear masks. Asians, because they're Asian, and idiots.
Yep.
That's it.
I would have to agree.
Yeah. Because we saw, like, dude, when we were walking, with the homeless smell, I kind of get this, but did you see that guy in the face mask and the shield that we saw on the street?
I did not.
He was this old white guy that was, not old, he was like in his 50s or 60s, it looked like, but I was like, bro, you're in, man. Like,
He was
you're
trying to
full
avoid the
brainwash.
smell of the city. That's what he was doing.
Probably.
With all those masks and that guard.
Yeah. Anyway.
It was a lot of fun.
These are new pants.
We're going to talk about my
We're
pants.
talking your fancy pants, dude. They got the crinkle on the side. They're all shiny, shiny. Mm-hmm. Why have I not seen you wear these pants before?
I don't know. I think I might have an online shopping problem, and then it'll just kind of sit there forever. And then I'm like, oh, I should probably try those on.
Is that real? How many clothes do you have that you haven't tried on?
Probably. No, like I've
Do I
tried.
need to check your statement more?
I have that bag of Lulu stuff that is just like sweats, but I've tried it on. I just haven't, like, I don't know. It takes me a minute to decide I want to wear it.
Isn't that funny? Mm-hmm. I'm the same way. I'll go buy 2 of everything, and then realize, oh, there's only 7 days this week. When am I going to wear this twice? Because I have all this other cool clothes, and
You got a lot.
so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm wearing shiny pants today.
kind of a girl that way. I've thought.
Do you not like my pants?
No, they're great.
Are they interesting?
They're very interesting. Yeah. Do they have like the crinkle thing on the butt too? That,
No.
like, no butt crinkles, just the leg crinkles.
No, but
You know what I'm talking about, right? There's those one
I
like leggings.
definitely know what you're talking about. It's supposed to make your butt look like a nice round, perky butt.
The crinkle thing is,
I think so. Yeah.
dude. The funny part is sometimes girls that have flat pancake butts wear the things with the crinkle butt in them, and they just look horrible.
Oh, of course, because you have to have some kind of butt to like accentuate it.
Or the other side where it's like their butt's too big and like the crinkle isn't nearly enough to like hold that in, so it just looks like there's like a Pillsbury
Why don't
can
they
of
make
rolls
that for guys?
busting out.
Like some guys need help with their asses. They should have crinkle butts in their leggings.
So gay, dude.
I know.
If a dude had crinkle things on his ass cheeks as part of his workout shorts,
Dude.
get out of here, man.
I'd want to know that guy. What's your story, bro? Like, who told you that was okay?
No, you'd be like, can we be friends? Like, you want to go to the nail salon together? Maybe we can get 2 for 1s for Botox. Like, that dude clearly has. If a guy's got crinkle stuff on his pants for his workouts, he's clearly got Botox as well.
Well, you have Botox.
I do not.
So are you one step away from crinkle pants?
What are you talking about, dude? I don't have Botox.
I think you have a little Botox.
You think so? Ah, that's.
How about you scallop me and we'll prove it?
I don't want to play your silly games, Amy.
Or scallop me.
Nope,
I'll scallop you if you scallop me. Here we go.
I like you too much to scowl at you, so I'm not going to put that on 1080 or 4K or whatever this is.
That glass-looking forehead right there.
I don't have glasses.
No, you're right. You're right. That part moves between
See?
your eyebrows.
Nothing. I'm a free man. Free of Botox.
Botox free. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I do have a little bit of Botox, but
Yeah, no, I said that.
I know. I'm just acknowledging it so that
Oh,
there's
okay.
not
So people
that are
know.
watching this going, wait, what? Why is he so scared?
Why did he deny it just to admit to it? Oh, because you're an idiot.
Because I'm a comedian. Which I guess is kind of an idiot.
Well, no, you're very funny.
Doesn't mean I'm not an idiot.
We're all kind of idiots.
Especially being a comedian. I love that conversation I had with Wes Austin about that, when it's like, I had this moment, 4 years ago when I was 42, 43 years old. I'm like, my self-esteem and mental health isn't shitty enough, so I need to go do comedy in front of a bunch of 25-year-old assholes that
Yep.
don't like normal people.
Got to mess with your depression a little bit. Increase those
It's
levels.
so good for your depression. If you really want to like dive into the depths of your depression, start doing comedy.
Yeah.
Because it will clearly
Good for
get you there.
depression and lack of self-esteem.
Right, because what it
Questioning your
does is it
self-worth.
takes what you think is a heightened sense of self-awareness and makes you realize you have no self-awareness at all, because if you did, you wouldn't put yourself in the position to feel so shitty.
Right.
Because it's like, doing comedy is like buying $1 billion lottery ticket. It's the chances of you actually like walking away from that thing super stoked is very, very small.
Right.
And if you do, you got to pay 2/3 of it back for taxes.
And here you are still doing it. Look at you. Just came back
like
from
I
your
said,
event.
my mental health is still an active part of my neuroses. So
what was a big takeaway for you from that event? What's your next level, next step?
I want to headline again. That was a takeaway. One of the things that came to me in that is that I have kind of been coasting with comedy. I've been doing a lot of like content that is funny with like some of the current event segments that I do on my Instagram and, with this podcast and having lighthearted conversations. But I've been kind of not putting enough into that. Like I get it really helps me to focus on the world in a funny way. Mm-hmm. And when I've been more in the serious sense or like trying to be Mr. Business Guy or whatever, like it feels harder to be funny, but yet my true like zone of genius is when I'm lighthearted and I'm cracking jokes and I'm allowing myself to look at the world through that lens.
Yeah.
And I've also noticed too that like because of that, like it truly is like a muscle. Like part of what you and I did on Wednesday when we got there before the show is like I had to run through my set and try to piece it together. And there was a part of the time there where I was having a bugger. Where I was trying to like make it better and everything, and I didn't have feedback from the crowd. I hadn't been on stage in 2-3 weeks since that last time I did open mic, and so I was going into this new thing. And I mean, fortunately, like it is somewhat of like I get in front of a crowd and I just remember. So I have good stage presence, and I've done a lot of things in front of people. So it's not like I'm up there as a bumbling idiot. But
right.
Confidence and composure play a big factor in how a comedian delivers his material, and so I recognized that like my confidence wasn't that high, and it didn't help that I was in a room full of cigarette or stoner smoke and really loud. But so, kind of back to your question, the big takeaway: I want to get back into it more, and I feel it's important for my self-esteem and my well-being to do it more because it's just it's just part of my personality that's there. That when I don't feed it, it affects me.
Well, I think it's like all things. It's a muscle,
Yeah.
The more you do it, the better you get, the more confident you're going to feel.
All that's true, yes. But I'm saying like for me and like for me to be happy and for me to really be in a good space mentally, I have to be feeding that. When I try not to, it sucks. Like I get in these weird headspaces. I don't have boundaries in the right way. Like when it comes to certain aspects of my life, I let things slide that I shouldn't let slide. And I'm like, no, I just need to like be more rigid about it, ironically, by being more of a silly goose.
Cool. So you're writing new material then? Is that what that means?
Kind of. I mean, I've been using Twitter a lot to kind of do these little one-liners and stuff and figure that out, and that's...
Well, I think we've got to travel more so you can get more inspiration.
It's true. The set that I did in front of Brian Callen's show was a result of our trip to Vegas with Dorian.
Yep.
With our son.
Because our life is funny.
Yeah.
We have a lot of shit we can laugh at.
Yeah.
So
He hasn't heard that bit, but I make it look like he was attracted to you. That you
keep it weird.
He's here. No, so I talk about like I paint this picture that you and I are at the pool and that you're scoping chicks, and there's a hot brunette that you can't because you don't have good eyeyesight. So there's a hot brunette on the other side of the pool.
Neither of you have good eyesight.
Right, I don't either. And the sun is bright, and you tell me, man, that chick's kind of hot, and then you go, oh fuck, hi mom.
I remember that.
Which
part.
You are, so I get it, dude. I mean.
We were talking
Sigmund
about
Freud
taking
maybe he was onto something with that Oedipus thing.
We were talking about taking you to a topless pool.
Yep.
And all the different tits that were out.
It was Noah's Ark of boobies.
Gross tits, big tits, pierced tits.
I even make that reference that there was transgender titties. I mean, it was just a peck, but
just a guy. Anyway.
Oh, now I can't do that joke. No, I can.
Yeah, so more bits.
More bits, yeah. I got to write more bits. Actually, part of the current event segments that we do here, that's a skill that I really want to learn how to do, is to do topical comedy.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the big, great, like Bill Burr, Dave Chappelle, Rogan, like the guys at the top of the heap right now, they know how to articulate funny perspectives relative to what's going on in the world. And I'm not good at that yet. So I've had to resort to telling stories about my family and have those have punchlines in them relative to that, which is good because it makes me memorable.
Yeah.
And that's one of the biggest compliments that I get is that like, oh, you're easy. Like when I came up, when I was done with my set in LA, like people go, oh yeah, my dad did that too. Like that was a point of conversation that people would have, is like I would be telling these jokes about my dad or my mom or my whatever, and they would come up and say the same thing. So that's good because it means they remember me. But as well, like I want to get to the point where I can be somewhat of like a political commentary humorist, because it's just an endless barrage of content.
Yeah,
and
that would be
jokes.
awesome.
So, what was your biggest takeaway there?
That I'm a lightweight compared to so many people.
Lightweight in what way?
Well, they were just all smoking so much weed and functioning. And I'm like, that is intense.
That's saying something because you are high functioning.
Yeah, but I don't smoke it all day, every day. These guys are like smoking blunts, the whole thing, like
Yeah,
taking
that's gnarly.
bong rips.
Dude, there was a there was a booth there that just had like 5 bongs?
Glass bongs.
And it was, you just walk up and be like, yeah, can I get the, the fucking Kush whatever? And they'd load you up a rip. And like it's just a bong station.
Well, and the vending machine was
Brilliant.
like the highlight of the show. Like there was a vending machine that they had just filled with pre-rolls and gummies and all kinds of shit. And it was
had
a
the
free
arm that went
game.
down or-
Yeah, like that, like, what do you call that thing? The clasp. Anyway.
Yeah.
And that line was just,
You want a t-shirt.
I did.
You got skills, dude.
Yeah. But dude, when people were...
So that's your biggest takeaway is that
No,
you're
I
just
was
lightweight?
kidding. That was a good one. That was a good one. My biggest takeaway is just I truly love comedy. I love laughing. I love people watching. Those environments just kind of fill me up. It's a lot of fun.
You're a good travel buddy that way, like especially with comedy.
Yeah.
You're super supportive.
I'm
I was
just
in my head after
easygoing.
my set, and you were like really like, no, look at it this way, look at it
Yeah.
this way.
Well, you made it seem like you bombed when you didn't. The crowd was just tough. Like every single comedian that went up was commenting on the same thing. Like that one woman was like, well, thanks. I guess I'm going to go home and kill myself. Like, because nobody was listening and nobody heard her. I'm laughing because I'm like, I hear it. But
You're like, yeah, suicide's funny.
But yeah, so no, I thought you did a really good job. As always, you just
That's sweet.
put a lot of effort into it and show up and tell your jokes, and I thought it was great.
Yeah.
And then some people did hear because you had that one woman come up to you and said, "So is this your one wife?"
Well, that's the thing is that like my stories were memorable enough to
Right.
where it was a point of conversation after the fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. When I introduced myself, I go, I'm from Utah, which is different from here. I am married to one woman. Just to be clear, I have to clarify that with Utah. It's my one wife.
Yeah.
Actually, that is a funny thing that I was trying to work it in beforehand because I thought, and you and I had discussed this, that the idea of being like, so wait, bro, like, do you have multiple wives? Like, well, I tried, but they didn't want to do it.
They didn't go for it.
It was like a punchline, but
Yep.
it didn't fly.
Anyway, so yeah, that's I just had a great time. I love traveling.
Yeah.
It's always a good takeaway.
So just publicly, thank you for supporting me that way. It was
You're
awesome.
welcome. Anytime. Let's do it again.
Okay, deal. Should we slip into current events?
Slip it in. Let's do it.
Ayo. All right. We got a guest producer here. What's up, Big Rob?
What's up, guys? Just back at it, round 2.
So what's our current events today?
So we got one from Newsmax. It's Nancy Pelosi. The morning after
Bitch.
the morning after midterm elections, House Speaking Nancy slipped on a sterling silver whistle given to her by her husband, who was attacked last month by an intruder at her home.
She slipped
on a
what?
whistle.
On a whistle.
Was it her husband's rape whistle?
Could have
From
been.
what happened the weekend before, or whatever?
Yeah, her husband got attacked in their San Francisco home.
He didn't get attacked. Let's be honest. It was his boyfriend.
Could have been.
Oh, dude.
The gay boyfriend.
I would, if everything was exposed, I would bet so much money on the fact that it was his lover. He's like 80 years old. He's like the sweetest guy ever. And he answered the door when the cops came, and the dude was there with like. There's so many squeaky parts. So now the follow-up story is like, yeah, that's gone. He's fine. Whatever. But it was because of MAGA. But she stepped on a whistle.
So wait, did it kill her?
Slipped. No, she's alive still. But the comments are hilarious.
She hasn't been alive for 15 years. Like she's a zombie.
One of the comments says, after her husband found in her underwear from another man. That's where.
So
It's
hold
so
on. So I want to
funny.
make sure I'm clear on this. She slips on a whistle, like a whistle, like did
Sterling silver whistle given to her by her husband the week before.
So why was it on the floor?
Why would you give your wife a whistle?
That's
I
the
have
headline,
so many.
man.
Dude,
don't
if you
even
had a big
understand.
enough house and you don't have an intercom, like
You got a whistle? Babe, where you at? That's really funny.
dude, those dogs would go crazy.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna try that now. I'm gonna go get whistles at the store. We'll
But
a
in all
whistle.
fairness,
dude,
Nancy
that's
Pelosi
dude, that's
is
what we'll
a
do for
bitch.
Christmas. We'll give every member of the family a whistle.
Do you remember that one year when like we were trying to teach our kids about like faith and believing in something bigger than them. And so if you've ever seen that movie Polar Express, like there's a bell, and if you don't believe, there's no...
Yeah. Didn't we give Dorian one without a bell? This little Scrooge over here.
Yeah, we sure did.
That's
from that mom.
I remember that.
Anyway.
And I don't think he believes in Santa even to this day. So maybe
Santa's real. It's just not somebody that lives in the fucking South Pole. We're sitting right here.
Santa,
Mr. and Mrs. Claus.
Yeah, Santa
Present.
has multiple personalities outside of
right.
the idea of Santa. I don't know. See, I don't get why that's a current event. Like, who gives a shit if she stepped on a whistle her husband gave her last week?
Well, there's nothing else to talk about other than that. Clearly.
Dude, what's funny?
Newsmax has to. 13,000 likes from it.
What's because they're like, she fell. That's awesome. Click.
Well, they're all blaming the gay husband.
That's so funny.
They are?
Yeah,
they call him gay?
All the comments are like that.
See, I told you, dude. There's more to that story. I'm not a... The hilarious part is that they tried to, in the previous story where he got attacked, which, first of all, we got to be clear. It's not cool to be attacked, okay? If some old guy gets hammered in the head, that sucks. Like, I'm not here to celebrate that. But the other parts of the story are hilarious. Like, he has this dude over that is a former nudist, lives in a school bus, has Black Lives Matter and pride shit all over the place. Like, he's clearly, like, out there as a super leftist, and they're trying to paint him as some MAGA guy. He wouldn't last 5 minutes at a MAGA rally. You kidding me, dude? They'd be like, motherfucker, put your goddamn clothes on. Anyway, it's kind of funny.
Well, I'm glad she's okay. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Here to fight another
The low
day,
end
but...
of current events.
I know, dude. She's like, she's already been dead for like 10 years, dude. Like, she's like one of those ghosts in Return of the King, you know? Mm-hmm. Let the dead bury their dead. Anyway. Okay.
This one's good. So the Denver Post. So Denver or Colorado is the second state to legalize medicinal psychedelics.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like mushrooms and stuff?
Mm-hmm. So it was Oregon first, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Oregon.
Yeah, Oregon shouldn't count, though, because they have legal suicide
I also
there, so.
saw that something about wolves. Like, they used to, like... Didn't Colorado do something where they removed a whole shit ton of wolves for some reason? You guys don't know this? Okay, well, apparently it's not very current.
Yeah, that's not the current event.
But yeah, that's cool. Psychedelics. I think the reason why I was thinking that, because somebody made a joke, oh, they've also, like, reintroduced wolves back into the fucking, what do you call it, the ecosystem there?
In Colorado?
So now it's like people are going to be tripping out and, like, going into the woods and getting attacked by wolves.
It's like Twilight.
Yeah. Those
Dude,
are werewolves.
That's hilarious because that's what happened in the Twilight movies. Is all of a sudden this wolf population just started getting crazy, and they saw these massive wolves.
Yes.
And they
Bryce has watched Twilight.
Dude, more dudes than care to admit have watched that because they watched it with their stupid girlfriend.
Yeah. This has been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you watch Twilight to get laid. That's why you watch Twilight. You're like, because the girl's like, are you Team Edward or are you Team Jacob? Like,
the girls watching that are like, no, we have to wait till we're married.
No, they're not. They're bugged that Bella doesn't bone him when he's when she's ready to go.
Right.
And the guys are like, bro, you know how hard it is to warm up an engine like that, bro? What are you doing waiting?
But also, he's 900 years old, and he's into 17-year-olds.
That's the unspoken part of Twilight that's hilarious, is that he looks like a 17-year-old, but he's what, 90?
Yeah, he's too fucking old for a 17-year-old.
And he's with a 17-year-old chick?
So you've lived that long, and you're still into 17-year-olds?
That's a valid question.
That's just disgusting.
And he's like, well, I don't fuck them. I wait to wife them.
Holy shit.
We should go watch Twilight. That's fun.
All right. Date night.
It's got a great soundtrack.
Totally. I agree.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. But it's true, dude. Guys watch Twilight, not because they're into the story, but because they're trying to get laid.
So are psychedelics legal now?
Yeah.
In Denver?
Yeah, Colorado. Okay. Which, honestly, I could see that, knowing Colorado.
Dude, for sure.
Out of all states, like, I could see that being the second one.
Well, I'm glad that they're starting to look at it medicinally because psychedelics, you know, magic mushrooms, the main compound in there is psilocybin. Mm-hmm. Psilocybin has been known to have regenerative effects on brain tissue. Like, it can, like, regrow traumatized brain tissue. That can affect depression, PTSD, all sorts of other, like, mental disorders that are caused with, you know, trauma in the brain. CTE, all that. Mm-hmm. So, hopefully we'll get rid of this old guard of idiots that are like, that's a drug. I can't believe it's going to fry your brain. Like, no, it doesn't.
Do you think they'll just sell it in like capsule form?
Probably.
Could
That's
be, yeah.
They have drinks.
Or will they have like pizzas? Like a
Yeah, new restaurants.
yeah, right.
Can I get that with anchovies and magic mushrooms, please?
Yeah, a magic.
So
So are they
mushroom
gonna
smoothie.
are they just gonna utilize the current like weed dispensaries to sell this stuff, or is it gonna be a whole other industry? Because I don't know how you go crazy with a bunch of products that are psychedelic.
Also-
I could see it being with the current places that they
Yeah.
have.
yeah.
Or it could go both ways. I don't know.
So is it true that magic mushrooms grow under shit?
Yeah, they can.
They can. So it's not like specifically
No.
the only way to grow them.
No.
Okay. I'm like that. What do those fields smell?
Do you remember when
like?
that friend of ours kid was growing them?
What kid?
Our friend
Uh-huh.
that has the similar car as we have now, and she has that Jimi Hendrix wannabe kid.
Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He was growing shrooms
I
for a
didn't know
while.
he was growing them. I just remember that he gave some to you, and then she called you a bad influence. I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that too. I thought that was gonna be the end of your friendship with her because she was fucking pissed.
She was pissed. How dare you get drugs from my son? That's kind of how she said it. I'm like, did you hear what you just said?
Did you listen to the words
Your
that left
son
your
is
mouth?
giving drugs to my husband. That means your son is a bad influence.
First of all, they're medicines, not
okay,
drugs.
You're right.
Psychedelics.
But at the time,
They were drugs.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well,
That's funny
that
shit.
friendship has endured, so that's good.
Yeah.
I have no idea where that kid is, though. Like,
He's doing his thing.
I could see that kid being like some sort of like David Koresh cult leader.
Oh yeah, he's total cult leader vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getting the ladies to do whatever he wants. And, hey, man,
Yeah.
how's it going, man? Which is bananas because as a kid, he was like a ridiculously good athlete and like good grades and sharp. And now he's just this interesting.
Then he got on the drugs.
He got on the meds. Well, no, he's done all the medicines.
Yeah.
He has a full-on pharmacy in his backpack. All right, what else you got, buddy?
The third one is Trump appointed judges strikes down Joe Biden's student loan forgiveness plan.
We knew that.
We
would
saw that
happen.
coming.
We saw that coming.
Yeah.
It was just a ploy for votes.
Yep.
Everything that
was
like
awesome.
this. Okay, so this is the thing that I have to laugh a ton at. So the midterms are just this week. Part of the whole like Democratic thing was, and Biden was saying this himself, like, hey, if we keep the House and Senate, we're going to codify Roe versus Wade, which basically means that because the Supreme Court said that it's not constitutional the way it is, and it was putting all the abortion stuff back on each individual state instead of there being like this federal thing saying that it's legal. Roe versus Wade had been around for 50 years plus. They could have codified it at any given time. There had been plenty of times where the majority, they had all three, president, Senate, and House of Representatives. They could have codified it. And it's like, well, now we're going to do it. Well, why didn't you do it before? Oh, because it didn't matter before. Because you didn't care. And now it's like, dude, shut up. So, yeah, we saw that coming, the whole student loan thing. There's no, it was never, he did it by executive order. Executive orders, all it takes for an executive order to go away is for the next president to come in and be like, bye.
Yeah.
So we knew it was a bunch of garbage.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the three I got for you.
Really?
Thank you.
Those were the good ones? I'm just kidding.
I didn't pick them. I got sent.
Jokes. These are the jokes, people. This is a
jokes.
funny podcast.
I will have to ask, when you guys microdose,
Yeah.
what's like your thing that it's helped with? Just randomly. Curious.
I don't do it.
Like
a ton.
why-
I haven't
when you do
taken
take it?
I haven't taken mushrooms in a long time.
And the last time we did take him, it was not a microdose.
It wasn't even mushrooms, it was LSD.
Oh, yep.
And it was in Newport Beach and it was awesome.
No, it was in Jackson Hole.
No. Newport was after Jackson.
Two opposite
Hole.
places.
I don't think so.
I think so.
I think you're incorrect.
Nope. It was a year and 3 months ago was when we did it in Newport. It was in December or September.
And we
The
did
kids were
Jackson
with-
Hole like earlier.
No, we didn't. We did it.
It doesn't matter.
When
I
you're
feel like-
wrong, it doesn't matter.
I feel because no, I don't want to fight about it, but I think
Okay.
I'm right.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss this later, and when
We'll
I'm
look through our
right,
photos and
yeah,
they'll
we'll
tell us.
timestamp our photos.
Because when we were in Jackson
That
Hole,
was taken while I was on mushrooms.
you
that
can
picture right
tell.
there.
Look at you.
Makes
Look
so
at
much
the
sense.
face. Like, why are you naked? What's even happening?
Because I was
Do you remember that deer that was like doing yoga outside?
Yeah,
of our
dude,
little...
I was talking to him. He was awesome.
So yeah, we've dabbled in that a little.
That was a crazy trip to Jackson because there was nobody around. It was still during COVID. The whole city sucked. Mm-hmm. The main steakhouse wasn't open on the weekend. Like, what?
Yep. It was weird.
And we were at like that place where there was all these other little camper houses everywhere, and there's like this open area, and we're hanging out, and the sun, the moonlight's beautiful, and we're tripping balls, and then this just deer comes moseying up, and he starts
hung out with us.
Yeah, he's like, "Hey, can we do a down dog here? Can we do a little
doing yoga,
moon pie sunshine kids pose or whatever they call it in yoga?"
Yep.
And I remember I was talking to him. Mm-hmm. I was giving him love.
Yep, we door dashed a bunch of food.
McDonald's. We had to DoorDash McDonald's.
Yeah. Crazy times.
It was crazy times. All right. This is a crazy episode. It's all over the place.
Perfect.
It's awesome.
It's life.
All right. How long have we been going, bro?
40 minutes.
Okay. That works, I guess.
Love it.
Is there anything else you'd like to talk about?
I don't think so.
Is there any sort of deep, resonating epiphany you'd like to share that we could bring the energy to this sort of subtle boil?
No.
Okay.
I'm not that deep.
Okay.
But we'll just end on congratulations on an awesome show.
Thanks, baby.
Yeah.
I loved having you there. Thank you.
You bet. Anytime.
All right. So, my friends, you know the deal. If you like the show, please subscribe. Tell your friends about it. Go follow me on my socials. Follow her too. She actually owns a Pilates studio here locally, and if you're local,
It's pretty close by.
and if you're a deer that would like to learn Pilates and not just yoga, come on down. So, anyway, guys, that's it.
Goodbye.
Yeah.